These guys right here actually aren't as bad as you may think they are. They're actually a lot better in person, but they're definitely not as good as these guys. Yo guys, what is good? Zakaragi back at it again, and today we have another episode of Toilet Reviews, the series where I put a shoe on a toilet, then I review it for you guys out there. So for today guys, we'll be going over these guys back here. So these are the Nike GT Cut 2 in the barley green colorway, and obviously they do look like the Grinch colorway from the Kobe 6s and from the OG Nike GT Cut colorway, but Nike has officially stated that they're the barley green, so that's what I'm going to go with today. So these guys are the successor for the OG Nike GT Cut, so definitely a tough act to follow as far as looks go and performance goes, but I'm not exactly sure how the GT Cut 2 will perform yet, so stay tuned. I'll probably have a performance review in the next month or so. I really got to wear them a lot through different types of court conditions and whatnot to give you the guys the best opinions, so stay tuned for that. But all in all, I'm pretty excited for this GT Cut 2. They have a lot of different features on them that are added on for the first time, and we'll get into that later on to the video, but for now, let's start it off with the materials. Alright guys, so on the shoes, it's mostly made up of this screen mesh material made of durable threads built to keep up with you with all your movements on the court. We have a little bit of plastic fuse on the eyelet area, a super padded and comfy neoprene tongue, and some plastic for the jeweled Nike swooshes on both sides of the shoe. Also, we have some synthetic nubuck on the collar area and some rubber and plastic for this beefy heel counter at the back here. From a try-on standpoint, the materials feel pretty comfortable on foot so far. They do feel pretty snug though, and my pinky toe is rubbing up against the side of my left shoe only, but I don't know. Maybe it'll break in the more that I play in them, but so far I don't like that snugness. I'm just praying that they do break in, and compared to the OG Nike GT Cut, the materials on the GT Cut 2s aren't as good in my opinion. I feel like the materials for the GT Cut 1s were good to go right out the box, but these guys, I feel like they might need some break-in time, so we'll see how it goes honestly, and hopefully it is a little bit better. I did have a bit of a durability issue with the materials on the GT Cut 1 because I did have some sole separation, very minor though, on the toe area with the OG Nike GT Cut when I played in them after maybe I want to say 3 to 4 times. So hopefully these guys back here don't have that same issue. And also, I don't know if you guys see it, but apparently Nike said that the uppers were designed after a butterfly? Bruh. I don't know if you guys see that. I definitely don't. If you do, comment down below. But moving along, let's start talking about the cushioning setup real quick. Just like last year's model, these guys feature a React drop-in midsole, and Nike switched it up a little bit and added a sock liner as well as a zoom unit in the heel. And if you didn't think that was already comfy enough, there's still a full-length Zoom Air Strobel, so these guys have cushion to the max. Guys, these things are seriously comfortable, and that's just from a try-on standpoint, so I'm super excited to try these out on court and see how they hold up with all my movements and whatnot. But oh my goodness, I'm so happy they put the sock liner on the shoe, because with the GT Cut 1, it felt a little bit weird not to have a sock liner on the drop-in midsole. Like, I've tried on shoes like the Kobe NXT Fast Fit 360, I don't know, the AD line has a shit ton of different names and whatnot, so hard to remember, but those guys had a drop-in midsole with the sock liner, and I really did like the feeling of that. So when I got the Nike GT Cut 1, I was a little bit disappointed didn't have that sock liner, so I'm pretty stoked that these guys do have that stock liner, and I won't have an issue when it comes to playing in them. And also, the React drop-in midsole feels a little bit higher off the ground compared to the GT Cut 1, so you kind of lose that court feel, but you get more cushioning as a result. So I guess it's a bit of a trade-off, but I did really like how the GT Cut 1 felt when I had court feel and solid cushioning as well, but we'll see how these guys perform. So having that zoom unit in the heel as well, for me personally, I don't really need it, given that I have a full-length Zoom Air Strobel, but it is definitely a nice addition because I know sometimes I do some heel strikes. I mean, I'm just a casual basketball player. I don't really play professionally or super competitively like that, so I think maybe those guys use their heels a little bit more, but I'm mostly on my forefoot and whatnot, so having that higher stack, which is mostly in the forefoot area for the drop-in midsole, really does help me out a bunch. And you know, I ain't getting any younger, so having that drop-in midsole more beefed up kind of does help my knees a little bit as well. So super excited to see how these go on court, and let's move on to the outsole. So what we have here is a new innovation from Nike. So we have sections with translucent rubber which can be seen on the heel and toe area. So this is made up of like these tiny little arrow nub things sticking out from the outsole. We also have the craziest herringbone traction setup I've ever seen on the forefoot area. If you look really closely, there's like different layers and different depths of herringbone as well, so I'm really hopeful for how this traction will perform on the court. I've been hearing a lot of mixed reviews with how the traction setup has performed for the GT Cut 2 so far, so it makes me super worried to try them out on court, because obviously I'm going to compare them a lot to the GT Cut 1, which had phenomenal traction, by the way. So if these guys don't perform half as well as the GT Cut 1, I'm gonna be super let down, guys. So fingers crossed that the traction setup does hold up and perform well. But I do have areas on the grip on the traction that I do feel like are a little bit suspect and won't grip the floor that well, and that is primarily on the toe area, like that translucent rubber with the little nubs on them. Like, why wouldn't Nike just replace that with the herringbone that's on the forefoot area? Like, doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how these little nubs are gonna grip the floor as well as herringbones. So, alright guys, so last but not least, let's go over sizing. So these do fit true to size. So I'm normally a size 10 in most shoes that I wear. I went with the size 10 in these guys back here, and I have no complaints other than the snugness that the shoes do have, because they do fit more narrow. So if you are a wide footer, I might recommend going up that half size, but obviously try them on in store if you ever get the chance to. But that is it for today's video, guys. I appreciate all of you guys out there for taking the time to watch this. So if you guys have a pair of these, let me know your experience has been like in the comments down below. And for all you guys that don't have a pair of these, let me know what you think about them in the comments down below as well. Are they fire? Are they not? Are they better than the OG GT Cut? Let me know in the comments down below. I always love hearing from you guys. But we're at that point in the video. It's time for hashtag Zacharagi. What you rockin'? So today I have my favorite Yeezy model of all time, the Yeezy 700 Wave Runners. Oh man, I just can't get enough of these things. But that is it for today, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm signing out. Peace.